You
I,
did. You did. You
I
knew. Um, when I started looking at this the whole weekend, and just you try figuring it out, and things come and go in your brain. But uh, George Patton, or
Peyton, yeah, George Peyton, yeah.
Not Peyton, the defensive guy that came from the Packers that got
Oh,
let
Pettin, Mike Pettin, yeah.
mid-season. There was some infighting there between him and Flores because they're both defensive guys. Is this starting to look like it was pretty dysfunctional administration going on over there? With some people not agreeing with Kwesi, Flores not getting along with Patton, KOC being, maybe, as you speculated, surprised at some of these moves. It sounds like all of a sudden there's a lot of dysfunction over there.
Well, when you lose, there's the dysfunction tends to bubble to the top, and Mike Pettin. And the thing is, and it started with Flores when Tua came out and was talking about, he was a bad guy to play for
Yeah.
and all this, and then he got. To me, it's like, there's a level of old school to Brian Flores, and Brian Flores is very successful. So to me, if there's a disagreement between Mike Pettin and Brian Flores, I'm sorry, Mike, but if you had to step away, so what? So what? If you were worthy of being a defensive coordinator, you'd be the defensive coordinator, not Brian Flores.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a problem with Flores. And you could, the defensive line coach that left midseason 2 years ago or whatever it was, there was problems with, Flores. That was back whenever, they go to Philadelphia and they're running the ball so many consecutive plays that Al Michaels is going, that's 7 runs in a row. That's 8 runs in a row. That's 10. It got up to like 15, I think, runs in a row. And the Vikings, granted, they were, they didn't have the defensive lineman to put in there. And so, there's problems, there's discussions between your defensive line coach and your coordinator. And so, yeah, this is not, they don't just all walk in whistling and holding hands and nothing ever, no heads are ever butted.
Yeah. Well, all this, you intimated in our last segment that, the clock starts ticking on Kevin O'Connell. They don't have a GM yet. So what, say it's not Rob Brzezinski. He's going to get a sure trial run at it here in the next couple months. But what kind of GM are they going to hire? I mean, your coach is already there.